Back now on Triad today, and we do some special segments with PART from time to time where we recognize various community leaders. And here's a guy who does a lot of great work in the community from a different angle, a logistical angle, if you were. Jay Paul, our director. If we can meet our good friend who's been on the show before, Dave Hauser. Dave is Vice President of Logistics for the Piedmont Triad Partnership. Welcome back, sir.
Thanks, sir. Good to be here.
We saw you on our special program, Salute to the Wired initiative. I want to talk a little bit about this aerotropolis. People think that I'm making this up if they haven't followed it, or it's something out of a comic book or a superhero thing. What is aerotropolis?
Tough to explain. Probably the best way is an airport-centric city. You know, back in the 1800s, cities were all pretty much built around seaports. In the 1900s, they were built around railroad hubs, and now within the 21st century, they're all built around airports.
Right.
So that's pretty much what it is.
And you're trying to, just to clear things up for this market and people watching this market, that we're talking about the Piedmont Triad International Airport and trying to hub out from there as far as what services can be offered and how it can have economic impact.
Well, correct. Our specific efforts are tying directly more into the logistics and supply chain area. What I guess makes our aerotropolis a little different from aerotropoli around the world is most of the others are centered around 15, 20 miles around an airport. We're actually looking to encompass the full 12-county region. The reason we're able to do that is because of the highway infrastructure.
Sure.
So, PTI is a serious key because of the FedEx hub. But we're also doing quite a bit of work with Smith Reynolds Airport, Winston-Salem, with the Alamance Burlington Airport, some of the others. So just tying it all together, and probably the best description is a regional aerotropolis.
Sure, which it is unique. Because usually, as you said, it's only centered around a few miles around an airport. Let's talk about the Center for Global Logistics itself. How does that fit into all this?
That's the fun part, actually, because the North Carolina Center, when we started with Wired, as per the earlier conversation we had, was centered around a logistics roundtable. We shifted into a global logistics task force. We brought the Aerotropolis Leadership Board, which is a large group of leaders within the region. And now the North Carolina Center for Global Logistics will be managing the Aerotropolis efforts, the logistics efforts. It's kind of threefold: all the educational efforts of the 11 four-year colleges and universities, 9 community colleges that all want to play in the logistics field, full research capability, consulting.
When you talk about education, you're saying a college or university or community college, making sure we've got trained workforce who can work in the movement of goods and across. Right.
Bingo.
It could be air, rail, shipping.
Whatever it may be.
How does all this figure into economic development for our region? The aerotropolis, the logistics and everything. What does this do for our economic development strategy?
That's really a key question, because a lot of people, one, don't quite understand what logistics is and what it does. It's effectively, as I said in the last program we were in together, moving stuff. But a key to economic development is for companies that want to move into the Piedmont Triad, it's critical that we have a logistics infrastructure for them to be able to move raw product into a manufacturing facility, and then once that product is manufactured, that product back out again, whether it be domestically, throughout North Carolina, the U.S., or globally. And of course, we have access to container ports on the East Coast.
What other regional or statewide efforts is Aerotropolis involved in? Any news, any lately developments, or anything you want to plug or talk about?
Lots of things, but we only have a few minutes. One of the keys is many viewers may or may not realize that the current governor of North Carolina, Beverly Perdue, created a governor's logistics task force that is actually looking at ensuring that North Carolina is logistically agile, for lack of a better word. And we're involved in that group in something called the 7 Portals Committee, which is looking at logistics villages, as we call them, throughout the state, to ensure that goods can not just move in and about North Carolina, but again, give give companies an opportunity that want to move into the area, something they can really sink their teeth into and understand North Carolina's got it.
This is so important. It just reaches into everything. We're talking about the education link and getting people prepared and having careers and working with companies and knowing how to ship goods and products. If you don't have that, then you can't have growth and you can't have jobs. Let me put up a couple websites for a plug. First is www.piedmonttriadnc.com. That takes you right to PTP. And you can get information about Aerotropolis, about logistics, about the things that are going on in the news that Dave was talking about. And also a shout out to Brent McKinney and the good folks at PART, www.partnc.org. Talking about infrastructure, boy, they do a great job, don't they?
Very involved.
And so important to our region is PART. So check out their website for routes and ride a PART bus. We'll be right back after this.